Hello and welcome to the UPL. I am Craft or Potato Lord or Howell's number one op, whatever you guys like to call me. Today I'm just going to show you guys super quickly how our sheet works. It's gone through so many changes. I need another updated version, but hopefully this one can last for a while. Most of our sheet is extremely automated, so you guys don't actually have to do that much anymore. But there's a few things that you do need to know how to do, and I really urge you guys to watch this video to know how this works. I'm not going to go in detail on like the coding itself, just how each sheet works, what it's for. So first of all, when you open up the doc, you're going to get a sheet like this. It will have all the coach names on there, and there's not much, but also the video will be linked right up here. Cool. The next sheet that you guys would see, there's a lot of sheets here, a lot of them are going to be hidden. The next one is the rules one. Whatever rule set for your league will be open. For example, it might look like this. Please read the rules, please learn the rules. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. My one thing is, if you have a question or you don't understand, just ask. I'm not going to get mad. None of us are. We actually appreciate you asking and letting us know ahead of time if there's an issue, rather than us finding out like week 8 of week 9, you know. If we find out later, we're going to actually be a little bit mad, but if we find out earlier, if you talk to us early, it's going to be super chill and we are more than happy to help. Then, depending on your league, you will have one of two tiers up. If you are in our tiers format, you're going to see something kind of like this. This would be your draft board. Pretty much, if a Pokemon is available, it will be available. Nothing will be different. But if a Pokemon is taken, say for example Dragapult, it will be crossed out and it will have whatever team abbreviation of whoever took it. On the far left side, you can see the complex bands, and on the far left side, you can see just the normal bands. On the tiers format, pretty much the exact same thing. Just the bands are all on the left side, including the complex bands, but everything else is the same. It also will say up top, if we use Terra, it will say what tiers can Terra, which can't, and if they can Terra, how much they'll cost. But same thing, it'll be crossed out, and to the right you'll see the team abbreviation of whoever took it. Coming up, we have the first page that you guys actually need to use, and that's Draft Recap. How it works, here it'll have each round laid out, and the order of which the draft order is. All you got to do, where it says Pokemon, type in a Pokemon's name. For example, let's do Lycanroc. And you'll see that as you start typing, it'll give you a list of options. So it won't work that well on mobile, but on PC this works pretty nicely. I'll just click, let's say, Lycanroc Midday. It'll automatically figure out how many points it is, and if you go down here, you can see that Lycanroc has Lycanroc Midday on their team. And you can see how many total points you've used, how many you have remaining. If you're in the tiers format, it'll also have this checklist here of, hey, have you drafted the required mons, which is super useful. If you're in an Ubers format, there will be another checklist here that says how many Ubers you can get, and or how many you have left that you can get, and how many Uber points you have. So you got to do this for the whole draft. All you got to do is just type in the mon name. So for example, we got Kronos here. Let's give Kronos a Gallade. And look at that. Under Kronos, he now has a Gallade. Super simple. That's all that is. That's the first thing that you have to do. Then we have the Teams tab. You can get an overview of every single team here and what mons they have. You can also see what Terras they have. If we use Terra, how many points you've used, how many trades you have left, all that good stuff. Next up, we have the Trades tab. If we have any trades, if people have done trades, they will be listed here. I will put them in here. Not too crazy. Then we have the Schedule tab. This is the other tab that you guys need to use. This one is super important. So, all you got to do is each week, each week you got to put in what 6 Pokemon you used in your match, and so you would fill this out after your matches. What 6 Pokemon you used in your match, and their scores, their kills, how many kills they got, and if they died, you got to mark that. So, for example, let's say I used Giratina, I used Great Tusk, I used Donphan, I used Pikachu, Greninja, and I don't know what else can we do. Glalie. Right? So that was my team. Then I would put in the numbers. So let's say Great Tusk got 2 kills. Sadly, Pikachu died. Greninja got 3, and Glalie got 1. Super simple. Same thing on this side. You can do the exact same thing. On the left is the kills, on the right is the deaths, and then you just put in the mon name. So we got, let's say, Trico, we got Grovyle, we got, of course, because it's T for you, he used Hawlucha, and Tapu Koko. And what else would he use? Tyrantrum. Okay, not Tyrantrum. He can use Screamtail, sure, and his favorite, Electrode, Heeswee. And same thing. Let's say Hawlucha got 3 kills and Koko went down, right? But you're noticing here, this isn't changing. That's because you got to put in the score here, which let's say it was 3-0. Now it's updated to show that I won and he lost and the score. But also you need to link your replays. So all you're going to do is you're going to go to whatever your replay is. You're going to copy the link. So, sorry you guys can't see that part. And then just link it. I don't really care if you put it on the verses or on the score, but there's going to be this little insert link button, and you just paste it in and apply, and bam, it's in. All you got to do. Now, that's if you're in the singles league. If you're in VGC, it is slightly different because you guys are doing best 2 out of 3. The only difference is you have to put in 2 or 3 game scores, but it'll find the average of those sorry, not the average, the sum of those scores, and it'll do it. So 2-0, 0-3, and say another 3-0. You can see that it changed. You would do the exact same thing. Make sure you link it on these matches just so we have it exactly on what match that was. Super simple. So just again, click this, click the cell with the score, insert link, and you would paste it in. That's all it is. Super simple. Then the playoffs bracket. Again, super simple. This is what it looks like. It will automatically actually update based off of who won the games. So once you put in the score, it'll update it. Same thing, just put your replays in. And same thing for VGC, best 2 out of 3, so you got to put those in. Standings, here you can see how everybody is doing. You can see your, win, loss, whatever other fancy numbers you need. Stats. This will automatically update, and it'll show what Pokemon is dominating in the league. So right now we gave Greninja 3 kills, so Greninja is at 3 kills. Hawlucha has 3 kills as well, and so it'll sort it. Super cool. Then the other thing, you don't have to do anything here, but this is the coach tabs. So you can get a full overview on the coaches in these coach tabs. They're the ones with the numbers, and they'll also have the coach's team abbreviation. So, super simple. All it will show is, hey, how is each mon doing? How many times has it been brought? How many games has it been brought to that it won? How many kills? How many deaths? You can get the coach's info, what time zone they're in, their showdown name, Discord name, so you know how to contact them. At the beginning of the season, I'll ask what type of sprites would you like on your tab. So we can have Pokemon Home sprites. We can have the Gen 5 sprites. We can have Mystery Dungeon style sprites. We're currently still adding it, but hopefully they'll all be in later. We got the Global Link images. We also got Showdown April Fools. And eventually, a long-term project that we got going on is UPL decks. There's nothing in there right now. But the UPL decks would show drawings made by UPL members. Up on the top right, you can see who your opponent for the week is. This automatically updates as the season goes on. You can see their team name, team logo, or their team logo, the coach name, and their abbreviation, so you can find it a lot easier. But also mini sprites of what their team is. On the right side here, you have the weekly recap. This will just show, hey, how you doing? What are your scores each week? That's all it is. Out here we have the coach stats, how many wins you're at, how many losses, your win rate, your differential. And at the bottom, under the weekly recap, you can see your records. And lastly, this is the newest edition. We also have achievement badges, which can be earned. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but hey, these are achievement badges. So for example, we can look at some other teams here. So we got This should be number 2. But you can see like, hey, here's how T4U is doing. We got number 6. Let's see. Number 6 is here's how they're doing, right? So it's all this cool stuff. Don't write too much about it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So, in summary, you guys only need to edit 2 tabs. The first tab you ever need to edit is draft recap, and you only need to do it while the draft is going on. So, not that much. And then the other tab that you got to do is the schedule tab. So that's really it. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask on the server. We are happy to help you guys. Other than that, I wish you guys good luck this season in the UPL. Thank you.